What's going on, everyone? This is Sherry, and you are tuned into She Said What She Said, the podcast where we interview badass women in the sports world and beyond. And we have a fun one tonight. We are actually taking it back to some 2016 memories. But to help me kick it off, I have one of my lovely co-hosts back. She is back from working the night shift. Bless her heart. That stint did not last very long at all, but she's back here. The P to my pod, Miss Snacky Poo. Hey, Snacks.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, that overnight life was not for me.
No, that lasted like what, a month and a half? Two.
Mm-hmm.
We did make the full 2.
We made the full 2.
Yeah, that wasn't some long-term shit. I mean, you tried it. Good for you. Bless your heart. I don't know how people do that, but like.
Yeah, I think I'm one of those people who could get up at like the ass crack of dawn. So maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and be cool, but having to be awake all night.
No, same. I mean, I like being up at night, but like, I don't want to be working. I like to be like, relaxing.
No, I like
or out.
I like sleep. I like sleep.
Yeah, sleep is a good one. But our guest tonight, she is one of our ex-flag football teammates from 2016. Woo woo!
And also fellow Illini, can't leave that out.
So I was gonna say I'm outnumbered tonight. But that's okay, because this woman, she is a fellow Illini like you. She just came through a few years after you. No, a lot of years. Deal.
Like, let's be real.
But let's break down her stats. So she just got inducted into her high school Hall of Fame. I believe it is Oak Lawn. Richard. Yes, Richard's in Oak Lawn. So she already in the Hall of Fame, and she's young, so that must have been the first year she was eligible. They were like, yeah, this girl goes in there. So she was like state champion or like finalist in like the 400, the high jump. And so we know what happens when someone can run do both of those events.
Yes, they end up becoming a multi when they get
exactly. So she went on. She actually still has I believe it's the pentathlon record at University of Illinois. Doing 5 events. She's number 2 all-time at Illinois in the heptathlon outdoors, doing the 7 events. So she is an All-American in the pentathlon and in the 4x4, because she did not give up that 400. Boo-boo. And then after, but this is not, obviously she could do all these sports, so why not come to the football world? And then she went to the LFL, was the defensive end for the championship Chicago Bliss before that league folded. So this chick can do, and she just wasn't, I don't think she won Defender of the Year, but she was like nominated for like Rookie of the Year, Defender of the Year, all those. This girl was hitting some bitches hard. Like, you could not get past her. If she were still in Chicago, man, she would be definitely overplaying with them, but she left us. She doesn't like us anymore. I get it. I know. But without further ado, let's give a little movement welcome to Miss Marissa Golliday.
Hello. What is up?
Hey, girl. Hey.
Ladies. So good to see you both.
I know.
Good to see you too.
And you know how I figured out it was 2016? Because I went through pictures, because I wanted to find one special moment that happened.
Yes.
That was a crazy day.
That was my very first game.
Was it?
It was my first game, and my tooth was what caused that on your face.
Yeah,
I had to get a new tooth. One of my teeth is thick. Can you see?
Yeah, and I told my mom, I said, "Mom, I got this cut, but she got to get a whole new tooth." She said, "Well, I told you your head was hard."
And that was intro to flag football.
And that was my first flag football injury.
Oh, really?
Was it?
Lucky you.
I had a few. They were all.
That was my first, and then I scraped up the same eye again the following year, and then I hyperextended my knee. I hyperextended my knee in 2018, so I went on a run where I just
that old age got to you. It was just like,
don't do me, okay.
Hey, you saw me. I ended my career on a stretcher, so like.
You scared me. I was like, I don't know about this playing football.
I was definitely crying that day.
It was rough.
You're don't be so emotional, Snack. I don't even remember it. Gosh, it was nothing.
I almost quit. I was like, I'm not doing this no more. Not doing it.
Yeah. But I spend my final moments on the flag football field with both of y'all playing our defense together. And what was more, I'm not trying to get the little thing. But Miss Marissa, let's talk about you because you are the star of the show.
What you want to know? I'm here
we
for
want
it.
to know
And
everything.
Don't be humble. Don't be humble either. Brag, okay?
You know, I don't remember my stats until somebody's saying it. Like, dang, I did do that, huh?
I did do that. Oh, you know, my ass was deep in the University of Illinois record books, going through your whole media guide, making sure that I had all the stats, because you are also still on the all-time list for the high jump, both indoor and outdoor. 5'9" indoors, 5'10", and I think it was 3/4 outdoor. So
yeah,
boom.
Stats, you got it. I appreciate
it. Yeah, because I was like, oh shit. But you started, so your career, you started in high school, you just got inducted. But the question I always ask all track people especially, when did you realize that you were fast?
Actually, I mean, I did run a little bit in junior high, but I feel like that was just playing in the street pretty much. We didn't have a track, it was just kind of like racing each other. But when we got to high school, my freshman year, sectional meet, it was like, that's where you qualify for state, right? And it's my freshman year. I don't know what state is. I don't know anything. There was one girl on my team, Aaliyah McAfee, and everyone said, like, she's the fastest, like, she's gonna go to state. And I'm like, okay. But at that sectional meet, I think, I don't remember if we were running the same race or not, but I ended up being a 1/10 of a second off from going to state in the sectional meet. And it was just like, everyone's like, oh, you almost got it. I was like, almost got what? I didn't even know what I was trying to achieve at the time. But ever since then, I went to state the next 3 years. And then, as you know, my senior year ended up winning state in the 400 meter.
Did you win the high jump too, or did you just place really high in both?
I did. So indoor, my senior year, I won high jump.
Okay.
But outdoor,
I feel like there was
outdoor, I did not compete in the high jump so that I could focus on the 400.
Got it. And what drew you to the 400? Was it your coach, or did you have this weird desire for pain
like every
over
coach
long
just wants
distance?
I feel like that's every coach's dream, is to just keep pushing you towards the 400. I mean, in high school, you don't know any better. Everybody starts with the 100. You work up to the 200. And me, of course, having a long stride and seeing success in like those longer sprints. That's how I ended up in the 400. And it's really like, you can handle it. Go ahead.
That is the one thing. I was grateful I could do so many other things, because I was like, no, I can't run the 4. I have to run the hurdle. And I have to
run too busy. Yeah, I kept my ass out of the 400 mostly until college. But my coach was like, if you're going to run the Big Ten, you're going to be running the 400.
Literally everybody in college has to.
Yeah, I know you had to move up, but I was like, at least in the state of Michigan, I can score points in the 100. So I'm going to stay down here for a while. I'm going to enjoy my time here.
I ran the 4 in college because I no longer wanted to run the 100 hurdles.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a big move right there.
Yeah, it is.
You really didn't want to run them hurdles, girl.
No, I did not. I mean, I was on 4x4s all through high school, and I was a 200 girl, so the 400 wasn't that big of a stretch, but it was definitely one of those. If I have to run the 100 hurdles against all these girls who are consistently in the 13s and some dipping into the 12s, and I'm a 13 high, No, thank you. Go ahead.
And especially like on your own team, because you were running at the same time with
Perdita Felician, and we had Sana and Jenny, the twins from Sweden. They were also All-Americans in the hurdles.
Right. Yeah.
And we had a girl, Kamei. She was from Ohio. So when I got to Illinois, there were already several hurdlers who were better than me, which was one of the reasons why I was glad to go there, because a lot of other schools wanted me to run a hurdle, but no, I didn't want to.
Well, Marissa decided to just take on a few extra events when she got. So
how did they convince you to do the multi?
Yeah, like did you ever do that in high school, like track? Like I mean like club track. Did you even run club track in high school?
See, I didn't. And if I could go back, I would, because I knew nothing. Like sports really isn't that big in my family. There are track runners in my family. Like my grandfather went to Northwestern and ran track. My uncle ran track at Chicago State, but like it just wasn't trickling down to me, like all the different things you need to do or should do. So no, I was working at the mall over the summers and when I should have been on the track.
At AAUs and USATFs.
Right.
Nice. And so, you went to Illinois, stayed in state. We can do up to 5 recruiting visits. Did you take other visits? Where else were you? No.
I didn't. Did I take any? I went to Illinois because I already wanted to go to University of Illinois academically. But I would say it wasn't really in the cards because that's an expensive school, even for in-state. And like it literally came down to that state meet where, because I wasn't like heavily recruited my senior year. Junior year was kind of iffy for me at the state meet. I did make it my sophomore year and placed, I think 8th or 9th, one of those. But again, that junior year kind of softened things. And it was literally like across the line, winning the 400 meter was once I started hearing from colleges. So very last minute, luckily worked in my favor to end up going to such a great school. But yeah, the way track and field recruiting works is definitely different than other sports, as you both know.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that like you're definitely like a later bloomer in the sport, which I mean, way to peak in your senior year of college. Like this is a great time to peak, but like, the talent level that you have, the fact that you weren't doing club and you weren't doing all that, it's like, but then you might have been burned out, you might have been injured.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Okay, so we get to Illinois, the lovely school down in Champaign. Can't say it. First of all, I want to know, what is an Illini? I was thinking about this earlier.
The best thing ever.
But what is it?
So a tribe in Illinois. And that's why the Indian head used to be the mascot until my junior year, I want to say, is when they got rid of the chief.
That's right.
Yeah, it used to be the chief, Alina Wick.
And he would do, though the biggest problem was there was a white guy who would dress up in the regalia and like do the dance and ride the horse out.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And that was when they were like, okay, we need to get rid of the chief. And then it was like, okay, well, we can just get rid of him, at the games and all that. But they was like, no, we're getting rid of it all. And I was definitely pro chief. I'll say that from the top. I was sad to see the chief Illini Wick head go from, major Illinois stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are probably one of the first schools or sports teams to actually change their mascot.
But they didn't even change it. They just took it away. There's no mascot at Illinois.
Did you take like a dog or something and say this is, I mean, that's what like University of Tennessee does, the volunteers. Like, what is a volunteer? They just have a dog and they're like, hey, this is cute. No. So y'all got nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, but back to Snacks' question 2. How did they get you to try the multi? Did you try it your freshman year, sophomore year? Who convinced you? Was it a bribe? What was going on here?
So, I mean, one thing I'll say about college track was definitely a wake-up call compared to high school. Like, I remember one of my friends on the team, we were both state champions. Like, we went in so confident, like, yeah, they're not ready for us. And it was like, skirt. We weren't ready for them. It was
Spoiler, they were ready for you.
It was like state meet, every meet. So that was just a wake-up call. But honestly, it was like once they learned it, I could do high jump. High jump is one of the highest scoring events in the heptathlon. And I like high jump. I'm always trying to sneak on the high jump pit. So it was kind of like, well, we kind of talked about it my sophomore year. And we tried first with hurdles because I'd never hurdled before. That's, a high skill event. And it's one of the first event, like one of the top scoring as well.
The very first.
So I was like, okay, well, let's try some hurdles my sophomore year. And it was, so didn't do it.
I want to see you run a hurdle race.
I need to go and Google to see if I can find this on YouTube.
Ooh, yes. I mean, it was learning curve. I feel like every time you go over the hurdles, you can do it. It's something that you can truly progress in and see your progression fast once you start tightening up those little things. But my sophomore year, we tried it and it was like, nah, let's just stick to what we're doing. But then my junior year, I was like, okay, let's get serious about this. I think you can be successful in this event. And just the way the team was shaking out, it made sense. And I was on board. Of course, again, I wanted to do high jump and learn the other events. It was a challenge and I was up for it. So started practicing all the things, then did some indoor meets, went well, kept getting better. Everything started to tighten up. And again, it's you get score points for each one. So it's just beating your best and making sure that all adds up. If you're super great in one event and trash in another event, that still kind of averages out and you might be okay. So it's really just putting the best picture together that you can based on your strengths. And, I was able to have success in doing that.
Indoors, it's the hurdles first and then it was long jump day 1 or day 2.
There's only one day for the pentathlon.
There's only one day. You do all 5 events on the same day. So I think it's hurdles, long jump,
shot put.
200.
No, 200 is only outdoor, right? Outdoor.
The 4.
High jump and 800.
Yeah.
So the 800 is. I didn't know the 800 was.
Yeah,
the
800 is and see that was another
piece
jewel
of that.
800 was different for me, but I'm a runner. A lot of heptathletes are field event people that end up turning into heptathlete. But I would say my base was more from the running side. So I was kind of excited about the 800. It's a death race. You're going to die coming from 400 to 800. That's a little crazy, but I like to run. I was ready to do it. But everyone else for that, they're like, 800, kill me now. But I would turn up there and that was a good point scorer for me.
And see, the event that kept me from being a multi is high jump. I could do everything else. Could not high jump to save my life.
Yeah, high jump.
And you need to, because it's you don't want to know height because then you're out. And then if you're jumping,
you gotta be great somewhere else.
Yeah. And then you're jumping 4.9.
My hurdles, my 200 definitely would have made it for because I was a
jump.
And my long jump. I was a sprinter and a jumper. But I would have lost it all in high jump.
So Marissa, what was your second best event? Obviously high jump was your highest. What was your consistently your number 2?
Probably the 800.
Okay. What did you run in the 8?
Honestly, I need to look back. I think my best was 212, maybe 2.
That's good.
I remember 212. I'm not going to go anywhere.
After doing all of those other events,
7 events. So.
Can I just say that I occasionally ran some 4x8s, but it was that was the one event that I was doing that day. Yeah. And if I hit 212, that was a good day. So the fact that you did that.
212 would have placed that state.
Probably.
A lot of years, 212 would have placed that state.
In high school, that usually will. Most states, yeah. I mean, in the Big Ten, sometimes that will make you usually about 209 to get into the final.
Lower two.
But when Snacks and I were there, people are a little with the progression of the sport. I want to say people made it with about 211. If it were weird conditions,
depending on your conference and all that.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that you could have been placing in Big Tens in the 800 and the high jump, but instead you just ran them all in one day.
Just do it all at once.
How did it feel?
3 4x8s in my whole life, my freshman year, and I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah. It's So, but Marissa, you set the school record. You were All-American your senior year. How did that feel? You know, just being brand new to that event.
It was.
Don't be humble.
It felt like a time crunch. It was like, I'm getting better, but like I need to be the best that I can be before this year ends. Like, this is it for me. So I want to really, put my best foot forward. And, I was able to do that, I think, indoor because it's 5 events. Outdoor, there was like a little more room I wanted to grow to do what I wanted to do.
Had to add that javelin, which I know can be a very hard ad for a lot of
people. I
was
terrible at javelin. Like, I could throw it, but it wasn't going anywhere. So yeah, that was probably one of my struggles for outdoor. Still ended up going to regionals for the heptathlon.
Yeah, you're still number 2 all time at Illinois.
At Illinois, But yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see what I continue to do. Like if I had a third year, like I definitely think I would have improved, and it would have been, just good to see what happened there. And I did actually train a little bit post college.
Okay.
But ended up, that's when my injuries started rolling in. Yeah.
Yeah,
because I think it's a whole lot different when you don't have a trainer to go to.
So hard.
So
right.
hard.
They're like, this is your personal ice bath. This is your personal trainer. This is your student trainer. This is
This is the person who's going to rub your feet every day.
Right.
The real world, here's your bathtub. You can get some ice from the freezer if you want.
Can I say, I want to say, one time in my adult life, I actually went to buy bags of ice and made an ice bath. And I was like, I'm never doing this again.
Sometimes you feel like you just need that.
But I honestly, it felt fucking great. And there have been times where I'm like, I probably should because I'm so sore and tired. But it's just like, I don't, and I also don't have the footies. Like, we used to have the footies that you would put on to protect your little feet.
We didn't have footies.
We had footies. It protected our toes.
You got in there with your socks on.
Oh no, I take my socks off, and we had these I don't know what the material was, but they were little footies. But one time I took one off, and a cockroach came out of it, and so that was the whole thing that happened. So I always shook them out.
We didn't have footies.
We did not have footies at all.
Oh, okay. Well, we had footies at Penn State. We pay attention to our little toes.
Well, I mean, we had, because the Bears were there. The Bears came to Illinois my sophomore year. So we did end up with super good facilities in Memorial Stadium. So we didn't need footies because we had the in-ground cold tubs and hot tubs and all that stuff.
Oh, shit. Nice. We were I was in a tank.
No, we only had to get in the big garbage cans if you didn't, the big huge ones, if you didn't feel like going over to Memorial Stadium.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, no, we had our own couple at the track. So Marissa, you also, though, you had another All-American status your senior year, the 4x4. I did not realize you ran with Ashley Spencer.
Yeah, Ashley Spencer, Morlake Kinnison too. Both of those.
Oh yeah.
Transferring.
Yeah, so you were one of Tanja's babies.
Oh yes, love Tanja. Yep, she together, real nice.
She got there my junior year.
Oh, okay, got it. So you did have Tanja.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
And those were the best 2 years of my career. I love Tanja.
Yeah. She knows what she's doing.
Definitely
for sure.
A coach can make or break your career and your whole time there. It is, especially back in the day before the transfer portal. If your coach sucked, that was it. That was your career.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, but yeah, I was looking at that 4x4 squad. I was like, oh shit, y'all good. That is, yeah. So Ashley Spencer was always one of my favorite pros, just because, before the current crop of women, she could do the open 4 and the 400 hurdles, both at the highest level, and that shit was
crazy.
Right, and it was wild to think that she switched to the 400 hurdles because the 400 was so stacked, and now that you look at where the women's track and field is right now, the 400 hurdles are so stacked. So you're who might run the open 4? So it's kind of like Ashley's time, but like a little bit different. But she was kind of the OG, like double in that one. I was always a big fan of her career.
Yeah. No, Ashley definitely puts it down on the track.
Yeah, she was good. So you graduate Illinois, you come back to, and you coached a little bit too, right?
I did. After college, I coached at Eisenhower High School, which is kind of like one of the rival high schools, or in the same district as the high school I went to, Richards. Coached for 2 years. It was a good experience. Like, you totally see things differently on the other side as a coach, like dealing with just various different athletes, different levels of talent, different levels of like actually caring about track. Some people are just there to have fun. Some people are really trying to, get a scholarship or make something of it. So that was good times.
What made you decide not to stick with coaching?
Just personal life, truly. Like, I'm someone who likes to move around a lot, and you really have to be, I want to give them my dedicated time and attention. So that means I need to be in Illinois for like 5 months at a time. And that's a lot for me. Been down that long.
Yeah, there's no working from home in Miami when you're a track coach in Illinois.
No.
And that's more of the life I was trying to live in my young 20s.
And then our good friend Stan brought you on to the football field. So what did Stan tell you to get you to come play football? Because I know you did nothing with football before.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just more interested in getting to practice. Like, I had already started. I started with tackle.
I didn't know that. Oh,
yeah. Okay. I started with tackle. So it was like, we'll do flag. Like, you'll learn this, you'll learn that.
That's right. Like, I remember him saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I was really brand new to football that year. So I was taking it all in, any opportunity, flag, I'll do it, tackle, doing it. So yeah, that's how it ended up there. And I knew a couple of people playing that were on my tackle team. So figured I'd try it out.
How'd you get into tackle?
That was pretty random. I had a friend text me that she was trying out for the team, and I said, okay, I'll go too. And I actually invited Kristen Morrison, who ended up on a tackle team too. And
you brought her on?
Yeah, I text her like, we're trying out for this football team. If you want to do it, seems like something you might like. Yeah, she took off from there.
I was gonna say, and she's still like one of the best to ever do it in Chicago. And that was
the best linebacker in women's football history, if you ask me.
Was she
at a lot of people?
she was track at Illinois too, wasn't she?
She was, and actually Kristen started out in field events at Illinois. She also did the multi events. So like once I started doing that my junior year, we were like besties because we were doing all the same stuff. I practiced together. So really, she was really able to actually, help me and teach me a lot of what was going on there because again, I was brand new to some of the events. So yeah, that's how we ended up getting close.
Oh, okay. So it's all like, that circle of the world. You're like, it all comes
together
now. Yeah. All the little things. So you go LFL, you're a defensive end. You're a bad-ass defensive end. Was it the joy of tackling a bitch? Like, what was it that you just loved so much about it?
I mean, just learning the sport. Like, I'm an athlete. Once you give me that, chance to show you and to learn and to execute, like I'm going to do it. But it was such a big learning curve, I would say. Like there's certain positions and like ways you move your body in track that did not look the same on the football field. You have a lot more lateral movements, right? And just using your aggression in a different manner. Like I would say you can still use that on the track, but it looks different on the football field, obviously. It just learning how to just coordinate myself. And it's been a great experience, honestly. I loved learning football and just meeting all these new people and just seeing different talent levels and how it translates to football. Because a lot of the women and girls like have done other sports. So it's interesting seeing like how that fits into certain positions. And yeah, I ended up being a defensive end because I could not catch.
Girl, join the team. Wow.
I know that life.
Know that feeling.
I know y'all know. They all
this is why we all played defense together. We were unstoppable across the board. But like
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
So track volleyball, basketball, those transfer very well for the catching things, but like we just track. You're never thinking about running and catching.
Right. Yeah, but like if you do a technical event like hurdles or a field event, like your route running is amazing because you're used to having to be on top of those little details. But it's like, yeah, you're gonna run the most I'm gonna run the most beautiful route ever. Don't throw that bitch so.
It's so nice. Decoy.
Decoy like a mug.
Decoy. Like you can practice going man against me. I ain't gonna catch it, but you can practice moving your hips.
I'll do the route tutorial, and somebody else can do the catching tutorial.
I know, right? Bobby said I ran like his favorite routes, but he was like, you can't catch for shit. I'm like, nope, sure can't. But I would try so hard. Okay. For me though, like coming straight from the straight sprints with never doing her, like learning how to like not is a different type of sprinting, right? Because you open up your stride. You can't open up your stride in the football field, like smaller steps, having to go. It was such a learning curve.
And that's definitely where hurdles helped me out.
Yeah, because you have to learn how to
the short choppy steps. Yeah.
And
you have to be able to like, if you kind of fuck it up, you got to be able to like adjust quickly without falling.
Really quickly without falling and quick. Like you got 3 steps to whatever mistake you made, and your touchdown time is supposed to be 1 second. So you literally have 1 second to figure out what you did wrong and fix it.
Yeah, and the 400 I just ran, so yeah, but and you were, and I said this in your intro, I couldn't remember. Did you actually ever win Defensive Player of the Year in the LFL, or were you just nominated?
I was just nominated.
Some bitch won it for you.
Right. I think they nominated maybe like 3 people or something like that, but it was Rookie of the Year.
Okay,
that's what it was. I knew that there was one.
Have you joined a team in your new hometown?
So when I first moved here, I joined a flag team, just, see what's up. But I ended up breaking my finger, and like the season was pretty much over. And then more injuries just came because I was still planning to do tackle at the time in Chicago. So I went up for a practice there, ended up dislocating my hip.
Woo.
Which is pretty serious, right? Like,
how did something like that happen?
How do you do that? Exactly.
I've heard the knee, I've heard the shoulder. How the hell do you dislocate a hip?
It's like, I've torn my ACL, and I almost expected that out of football. Like that, I thought that was the worst that could happen. And
yes,
it happened. And I was like, all right. And I am getting back out there. The hip thing, I was literally just running diagonally. It was a practice, running backs, going outside. I'm going to stop to contain. And it was like a weird step. Like I felt something and heard a pop. And I was like, whoop, stop running. And it was like, it felt like my leg kind of went out and came back. So it dislocated, but it went back in. So then I'm still like walking, and I'm still like, okay. And I'm like, did something just happen? Like what? I know something happened. I'm like doing little jogs and stuff, and it felt okay, but then it was just like a little bit of tweak. But once I got it checked out, it dislocated, went back in. There was bruised bones, torn ligaments, like all this stuff from that. And it's like it wasn't even contact.
Running diagonally.
That's something that happens in car accidents.
Come on, I'm like,
what? Did you hit a ditch or something when you were?
And I don't even think it was. Like I looked at it, it didn't look, because it was at what's Mandrake? Mm-hmm.
Oh, on the turf. Mm-hmm. That fucking turf has taken out everyone.
Yes. That's Mandrake
turf. That's where Sid popped his Achilles twice. I think both times on Mandrake. You did your knee on Mandrake.
Mm-hmm. Look, maybe it was Mandrake, but I don't know. That was enough for me to sit down for a minute. And really, it takes a while to rehab your hip. So that, yeah.
When did that happen?
A little better, but
when did that happen? What year?
That was May 2021.
Okay. Shit.
So how long was your rehab?
I mean, rehab I did for a couple of months and it was feeling good. And then it kind of started to regress. And now I'm starting to feel good again. So it's like constantly kind of have to work on it. But right now it's been feeling good for like a couple of months.
Oh, that's good.
Man. So are you going to go into another sport? Maybe like tennis?
I'm trying to be more creative, start sewing, reading books, safe activities.
But what do you do to stay active now that you're down in Houston?
Ooh, Houston's super fun. Well, it's normally pretty nice and hot out here, so I like to ride my bike. I just got a bike a few months ago. I still go to the gym and do all the fun stuff in there. My friends are pretty active too, so really it's just like, hanging out with my friends, or we'll go to the gym together, just finding little activities and things to do, but no tackling or anything like that.
So would you say you're done with sports forever?
It's like I can't make that promise, but it's just not on the radar right now.
That makes sense. What is like Houston, Chicago has a very competitive flag league. We have the Bliss, which is now the Blitz, and they won again this year. So following up after y'all won, a little time to rebuild.
Yeah.
But I know the team, the X League team is Austin, I think, in the Texas one.
Right. Yeah. There used to be a Dallas team. I don't think there was a Houston team. There is a tackle league out here. Like, it's not the Extreme League or LFL, but there's a tackle league. And they do have a flag scene too. I don't think it's as competitive as the Chicago one, I will say that, but they have a little bit of something out here.
Okay. So not quite as much, but like, if you want to dip your toe back in, because girl, you're still young.
Am I?
Would you ever do Masters track? I mean, you got some time before you can even do it, but would you?
I would consider, depending on the situation. I've seen Masters training and stuff, and it looks pretty fun, to be honest.
Masters is 35 and up, right, Snacks?
Mm-hmm. It starts at 35, but most people, that's the smallest age group, the 35 to 40-year-old, because some of them are still trying to compete professionally.
Allison Felix was still, yeah.
And then like for a lot of that's early in your coaching career too. So that was part of the reason why I didn't start Masters at 35, because I started coaching at like 28 or 29. And I was still kind of like trying to get my footing underneath me as a high school coach. But like now, I think I'm going to get back into it maybe next year, now that I'm about to be 40. But track hurts. And that's the one thing that I have to consider. Like, I have to constantly remember, the track really hurts. Football practice did not hurt.
No.
But track practice hurt. So I'm thinking about it though.
Do it.
At least do like the long jump.
Do something.
So, something more like, or would you do the hurdles?
Yes. If I would, like, because I still have the muscle memory. Like I coach.
I guess, yeah, that would do it.
So I've definitely taken a hurdle at full speed. One. I have not taken one. But I feel like I would, if I did get back into it, I would probably run hurdles. Because I'm not running the floor as a professional. Absolutely not. No, well, not even as a professional, but I'm not going to volunteer to run the floor. Absolutely not.
So I need to know, Snacks, what we now need to know. We need to know what the women's winning master high jump things are, so we can give Marissa something to train for.
Because you can still become an All-American in Masters.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
See, she's trying to get you, trying to get you back on that track.
Where I want my hip to pop out.
Yeah, I mean, high jump. I can see that, potentially being a thing, but like you're not close to 35 yet, so you got some time to rehab that pup baby. Like, what you rehabbing for? Man, Masters track and field in 3 years.
In 3 years, yeah, because you got a while.
Right, I say. or maybe it's more than 3. But you got a few years before we need to do this. Mm-hmm.
And of course, they list it in freaking meters.
Well, just do your conversion.
I know long jump in meters. I don't know.
1.8 meters is my PR.
Okay, so I know that's really good. I can't tell you what it is in feet. Okay, here we go. Women
5'10" and 3/4 because I looked it up earlier.
So yeah, you can high jump over yourself.
Pretty much.
And that's always something I thought was pretty cool.
I know, like that's the goal.
So I would actually love to see
the 35-year-old high jump record is 2.01.
Okay.
And that's the record. That isn't who, won.
It's a regular old day.
And like that's been the record since 1982.
Oh gosh.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, because that's high. Once you get over 2, that is quite high. But I would love to see a high jump competition that did your height in relation to, or the height in relation to your height. Because we had this chick at Penn State who she could jump 5'9", but she was 5'4".
Yeah, that is crazy.
Oh.
Yeah. So like when you do like the proportional, like she like legit would place at Big Tens and be like, yeah. So like I want to see that. Like, you know what I mean? Like you tall people jumping over your height. Oh, that's cool. I want to see the folks that are jumping over their height.
That is crazy.
See, now we got snacks down that rabbit hole.
Yes, because I'm looking at these 200 records and it's like, Merlene Oddie, why you ain't sit yourself down somewhere?
Because she
ain't have to.
She's been what, 5 Olympics, 6 Olympics? A woman.
Yeah, but like so what I'm noticing is that these might not necessarily be masters records. It's a record. When you were that, because Shelly Ann Fraser Price has the record.
Yeah.
So I think it's just by age group.
So once we do the actual at like the championship meet. All right. Well, Snacks, that will be your homework. Get that back. Marissa, we'll send that to you, and we'll get this training plan ready for the next few years. So once you're done rehabbing.
No, I don't even really feel like Masters track is worth doing until you're 40.
That's fair. Okay, well then, Marissa, you have a really long time.
Let's this and come back.
Right. My goal is to be like really old, where Snacks and I can do the 100 at Penn Relays, where everyone just cheers for you because you're just out there.
I'm gonna be that 85-year-old that's getting the. I don't like the sympathy clap now, but give me the sympathy clap at 85 when I'm trying to make my way
I'll
down.
be 84 right next to you, like, oh bitch, I'm gonna get you. We're gonna try to get that lean at the end. Yes, this is
I never got to run. I never got to run at Penn Relays. So my only opportunity to do so would be as an old person running in the 100.
Yeah, well, I have ran at Penn Relays and it is lovely. So I definitely say
whoever that is speaking on the chat.
That's Terrence. Yeah, he's logging in as me, but it wasn't me. But Marissa, I want to bring back, because we kind of glazed over it or glossed over it a little bit, but your time with Chicago Bliss, when you guys won the championship, tell me a little bit just about that season, because it feels like it was yesterday, but it was pre-pandemic.
It definitely seems like it was longer ago.
It was 2018. So in that, it was not that long ago, but it was super long ago. So remind us about that season. Bring that shit back. So I remember I saw that I went to some of the games. Like, talk about that season.
It was great. We were destined from greatness from the start. But honestly, the Chicago team, the most winning LFL team, in the history of the program. And you could tell, like, literally, like I said, that was my first football experience, was joining that team. And, it's like walking onto an Olympic team or something like that. It's just like the highest level possible. And being around those, those athletes, those coaches, like they know what they're doing. They know how to win. And that was pretty much the tone from the beginning. So again, that was it. And then came off a loss the year before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you guys did not win the year before.
Was the year before the year that they had the reality show on Oxygen?
No, because that was before
I think that was 2016. No.
It had to be
2015.
It might have been like 14, 15.
Yeah, 14. Time is, what is time?
I know.
I mean, I knew it was in that window.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good, but.
Right. But that was one of the things, like, get your heads in the game. We're not on reality. And that was part of the reason they didn't continue the show too, is like too much for the team. But no, yeah, it was literally like our goal was to win. And that's the only thing we wanted to set out to do. And I think everybody was on top of their game from like every position, both sides of the ball. Like, what can we do to win this championship? And like put it together and did it again.
Yeah. How many years were you with the Bliss?
3,
right?
Yeah, 3. I mean, I was going to play in 19 and 20, but both of those seasons got canceled. And then the league, transitioned to a different league.
Yeah, because 2016, 2017, 2018, you guys won. Was it 2017 you didn't win, or did you win all 3 years?
2019, coaching changed. The league was about to change. So 19.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was
injured. Actually.
Yeah, that's when you got injured. There it is.
Yeah.
It's all coming back, right? Because that's when Sid came in like super last minute, but you were injured. Yeah. And so so they had to find your replacement, which is much harder than it sounds. Okay.
I mean, I think a lot of the team had kind of like dispersed and
I mean, people,
right, things happen.
It's tackle, right? Tackle is hard on the body, and that commitment for that team is rough. So if your career stuff, you want to have kids, if this or that's just rough.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you miss most about your football playing days?
Oh, I really do miss game days, like being on the field, actually going live with stuff. Like, practice is fun. There's so many moments in practice, but like the actual being able to do it and go live and like put that to work, like I definitely miss that. But I gotta take care of this body.
Now, besides the uniforms, do you see any differences with the league now versus when it was the LFL?
Personally, not too much. I do think that they are trying to bring down the sex appeal in the marketing. I think it's there a little bit, but they are trying to make it more sporty. And I think part of that is making it just a more marketable league in general. Like the whole sexy football thing is more of a gimmick. It's a gimmick that lasted a long time. But once you start talking about TV contracts and like things like that, things can happen with those uniforms. And, a lot of bigger broadcasting companies don't want to take that risk. So I think that part of it is like trying to set up for bigger things in the future. But other than that, not as much difference. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say as someone that watched you play and then watched these ladies play, I mean, y'all have always been talented, but I agree. I think the focus is less on how, hot you are and more on the skill. But I would say the skill level did seem to always be there, especially for the Chicago-based team, like y'all has some of the, because like, look at Kristen, you know what I mean? She was one of the best then, still one of the best now.
Right.
And so you definitely have that skill. But I do like the direction they're moving in. Because like you said, it was, I mean, y'all were cute, don't get me wrong, but like when they very first, like they were trying to get me to play before you came to Chicago, when they were like legit in like a thong. And
that was when they were trying to get me to play. And I'm like, look now. This is less than I wore to run track. Like,
no. It really was. And then y'all time when they had those cute little tights and all that, it started. And now it's like, I like their uniforms. They got the boy shorts and kind of crop top.
That's what I play in anyway.
Yeah. I definitely like it. And then as far as like I don't know if you saw any of the games, but they have like the fan pass now where you can, and like I bought it. I was able to stream the games on my TV. It was good coverage, good announcers. I really like how they're starting to create the website, the fan bases, and build from there rather than trying to like go and get TV contracts. Like just start your own. It's a great way to start. So I'm very excited for the future.
I wish it was more like this, years ago when I was, still in my prime and I wanted to be out there. Like, I wish it was like it is now.
Same. I would have definitely, if it were like this when way back in the day when Snacks and I were in our prime 10, 12 years ago. Yeah, I think we would have been, because it was not focused on the sex appeal. I mean, they still look cute. Why not?
And my whole thing was I've had sand burns on my butt. I didn't want to have, turf burns on my butt.
No. It wasn't. No, thank you. And for me too, it was like, I can't do a sporting event and not invite my dad to come and watch me play. You know what I mean? Like, and after all the years of wearing them little spankies running track, and you want me to wear what?
Yeah.
No.
I still would have invited my dad. My family knows I'm a bit
swimsuit.
Yep.
That's fair. But yeah, but it was still, to me, it was just like, it just didn't really, but yeah, now looking at it, it's like, but I love the direction that women's sports is going in, as far as that. Now, Marissa, do you know, I don't know if you know what's going on in the high school scene down in Texas. Do they have any type of flag football for high school girls down there?
I don't know of any like organized, but I just feel like I've been seeing so much of younger girls playing football, flag football, and things like that. And, I think it is like nationally available as like a, not club sport, but, USA sport. So I hope they do. I feel like the Dallas community has a lot of just football activity going on. So I wouldn't be surprised because they have tournaments in Dallas at the Cowboys Stadium, and I've seen younger girls playing there, so I would assume so.
This is the second year that Chicago high school has had flag football as a girls. As a girls sport.
Officially sanctioned girls sport in Illinois now.
That's so cool.
But like when I had Sid on a couple weeks ago, he was saying they've had that in Atlanta for like 10 years.
Oh wow. I did not know that.
Maybe not like officially sanctioned, but like it's been a part of, because I would definitely have played in the fall and then go run track in the spring. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of places down south have had flag football for girls for a while.
Yep, I believe it.
Yeah, well, I'm glad Illinois is finally
because we got a lot of talented girls who like don't necessarily want to play volleyball in the fall or whatever. What other women's sport is in the fall? Cross country. Nobody wants
cross country because soccer, at least in the state of Michigan, soccer is a spring sport. So that's why I had to drop soccer. So I would have done soccer and track, but I think the boys play in the fall, so the girls have to settle for spring, even though in college.
I'm trying to remember who was on the field when we were at track practice. I don't remember if it was boys or girls.
It was probably girls. I definitely, a lot of especially then, women's sports got the shaft.
But when I first started coaching, we were trying to get a couple of soccer girls to come and run distance. So I think girls soccer is in the fall here.
Oh. Oh, that would have suited me just fine. So Marissa, is Houston your permanent position?
Everybody asks that, and it's good for now. I try not to stay married to, I don't commit easily. I just bought a house, so I will be here.
Oh, you did?
I did. This is it.
Yay, congrats. Look at you.
Thank you. Such a grown up.
Yeah, you are.
So yeah, that's why people are asking me like, oh, you're going to be there forever? I'm like, well, maybe. I don't have to, but it's good. Mm-hmm. It's going well.
And with the pandemic kind of winding down, are you trying to build your little travel blog a little more? I know you got your IG page. What's the future of that one?
I love to travel. I've had a travel page for a few years, and I have been neglecting it. But recently I've been a little more active. So yeah, I recently went to Portugal, which was beautiful. I'd recommend it.
Looked amazing.
Yeah, went to a couple of different cities there, and it's a little more under the radar, I guess, place as far as travel destinations, but it was great.
Love it. So would you like officially be a paid travel blogger?
I mean, if the opportunity presents itself, but for now, I'm just like building on my own blog and posting content just for fun.
Mm-hmm. Just because.
Just for fun.
I mean, and that's like, I do this podcast for fun, right? It's always like, what incites you? I'm like, well, I like to ask people about themselves. I like to talk. Yeah. So why not have it on a forum, right?
This is super cool. Yeah.
Thank you. So final question before we let you go. What is on I know your hip is getting healed, but what is on the horizon for you? Like, what are some maybe personal, professional type goals that you're working for physically, emotionally, spiritually, anything you want? Just tell us what's going on for you.
Oh, I love it. Well, as you know, yes, hip rehab is very important. And I feel like I'm in a good place there. So just getting my fitness back doesn't have to be attached to a sport. Like I want to just feel like my best physical self, because I haven't felt that way in a while. So that's one thing I'm working on. And filling up this house. Like, a house is such a big girl thing. And I have no decorations, as you can see, all these blank walls behind me. So that's going to be my project for the next few, probably years, honestly, just getting it together and enjoying my space and being peaceful. You'll definitely see me traveling. I don't have any plans yet, but I'm sure you'll see me on a plane soon.
Love it.
Sounds lovely.
And it's been like so many years since I've seen you, but like so I always stalk you on the internet. Like, I love to see you like doing well. How many guest rooms do you have in your house?
I have 2. So, I mean, you can both come on down. You'll love it.
Oh, we're sharing a bed. So
yeah. We only need one room. We'll be okay.
Right. We're fine. We'll cuddle.
That would be a blast.
Okay, girl. Well, thank you so much. And when you ever do decide, I know you won't come here in the winter, but when you want to come,
I wouldn't.
Right, I wouldn't. But when you come back to Chicago, don't be a stranger.
Yes,
let's have drinks and all that good fun stuff.
Yes, and wear one of your cute outfits and teach us how to pose, like, and do, because your pictures be fire.
Your pictures are fire.
And I mean, first of all, you're fucking gorgeous. Like, hands down, your smile, your everything, you're fucking gorgeous.
Oh, stop it.
And you always know what to do with your hands.
That's what you look
to me. I never know what to do with my hands.
And see, that's just me picking the good pictures, because I got some weird hands in there too. Monster claws.
Yes. Well, we're going to do a little tutorial of how to use our hands, because, girl, we want
pictures because I need it.
Yeah, we want to slay like you, because you the baddest bitch out here.
Oh, I love you both. This has been super fun.
Love you back. I'm so glad I decided to jump on tonight. Soon as Sherry said we're having Marissa on, I said, I'll be back. I'm coming. I need to be
coming. We needed to do it.
Good.
All right, love. You have a good one.
You too. Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, so good to see you.
Of course we did. How did we both end up doing the bye?
Oh, I miss her so much.
I know. It was pretty. It was cool having a little mini movement defense.
That's wild. The 3 of us were And all track girls too. Couldn't catch
Yeah.
them.
All Big Ten track girls.
Right. It was wonderful. So, Snacks, we got a few minutes. Tell me how you're feeling about this NFL season.
You know what? Fantasy is ruining my enjoyment of this NFL season. I will say that right off the top of the I don't think I'm gonna do fantasy next year. Because
so I said I was gonna retire, then I went like 3 weeks in a row of like winning like almost all my games. So I'm like,
oh, I'm on a 4-game winning streak. I am 5-2, doing pretty decent. However, Justin Herbert is playing like trash. Cordero Patterson has been on IR. DeAndre Swift also injured. Hollywood Brown on IR. Like I've just dealt with a whole bunch of ridiculousness in terms of injuries, and I had Cam Akers to start the season. What the hell was going on?
Me too. In my main league, yeah, that was cool. Opening weekend, I was like, oh no, it all went wrong.
Right. So it's like my Steelers are rebuilding because they got a brand new quarterback. The Bears are rebuilding. So it's like, man, football is just football at this point. I can't even really get too excited about anything right now.
I mean, you got the excited.
Well, that is something I am excited about because we have not been ranked in over 10 years.
Shit.
Like yes, it has been a very, very, very long time since Illinois was in the top 25, and now we're up to 17. So I'm super excited about that. College game day is saying they may come for the Purdue game because that would definitely be determining who wins the Big Ten West.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, there are a lot of big things on the horizon for my Illini, and that excites me. But professional football is what it is at this point.
Mm-hmm. What team, who do you think is going to win this? Like, if you were a betting woman, who are your Super Bowl people? Do you just hate everyone? I'm kind of like, I don't know because I'm like, are the Eagles actually good? I still haven't decided if the Eagles are actually good.
I don't know if any of the teams in the NFC are actually any good.
Right.
Like if we're being fair, the Super Bowl should be played against 2 AFC teams.
Probably.
But we can't do that. So, I mean, at this point, I'm definitely riding with Buffalo. I am a believer. But if I had to choose an NFC team, I have no idea because I'm not entirely sure I 100% believe in the Eagles either.
I know. It's like hard to grasp the concept.
Yeah, the NFC North. Yeah, the NFC North sucks.
The NFC North is just
horrible. Like, think about this. Minnesota is probably going to win the NFC North.
Oh, Minnesota will because everyone else is like that little meme of those trash cans going down the hill in the rain. That's the Packers, the Lions, and the Bears. Just like who can be the worst out of all of us?
Well, like the NFC West, nobody wants to get it together.
No, they're all just kind of riding the wave of mediocrity.
Yeah, and then the NFC South, really.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden the East is the best, but then thinking of the last couple of years, I'm like, is this a farce? I don't understand. It might be the upside down.
The Giants actually look really good. Dallas looks okay. Philly looks really good.
I know. It's weird. Things
are bizarro weird. World. 2022 NFL season is bizarro world.
Especially in the NFC. This shit is weird. I feel look, I was out of Survivor week 1, so clearly I ain't no shit.
Me too.
I took the Colts.
Yeah, I took Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I'm like, if they're going to win any game, it'll be this one. No, it wasn't.
No,
And
they
for
lost
the
that
second
one.
year in a row.
Yeah.
This is the second year in a row I have gone out of Survivor week 1. So I'm definitely done with that.
I've gone out Survivor week 1 twice. However, I will say I believe my league's already over. I think it was over 2 weeks ago. So 32 people.
I was just about to say, how many people did y'all have in the league and it's already over?
32.
Well, it makes sense.
Half were gone week 1. The next week, another half were gone. And it got to be, and then it was 2 final people and they both lost.
So does anybody win the prize?
Yeah, the last 2 people, I believe they'll just split the money, half and half.
That's so weird.
It is. I think that's the way it does. But I mean, I lost because of a tie, and that's the second time I've lost in Survivor because a team tied. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, what's the percentage of games that go to tie?
I feel like if you choose either team, you should progress on to the next.
Technically, it's not a win.
But it's not a loss either.
I know. Trust me. We've had this discussion, but that's the way that Yahoo. I mean, maybe there's a setting that allows it. I should go look.
I'm pretty sure it is, because I was just complaining about the fact that I had who did I have? And they were playing special teams too and actually doing really, really well. And I didn't get any points for it. And I found out that
that was your team last weekend.
Yeah, and I can't remember for the life of me.
It was your defense.
No, it was special teams.
Oh yeah, the special team thing too.
And I was saying that if you had a position player and they did really well on special teams, you should get credit for that too.
Oh yeah.
And apparently there is a setting where you can get points for special teams, but I've just had suck ass commissioners.
I have had leagues where if your kickoff punt returner also plays. So if you can get a wide receiver that also does punt returns. But
I always have one of those. Always.
Yeah, but that's not a standard setting either.
And I don't like it.
Yeah, start your own league, make your own rules.
Here I am thinking about retiring. I don't know if I have the bandwidth to start my own league at this point.
Oh, Javen says only touchdowns, son. Oh, that must be what it is for the punt returns. And hey, Javen. No, but I mean a 20-yard punt return is huge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, but I think they really only give for the touchdown.
Yeah, that's why.
Unless it's a weird setting that they give the. But I mean, there's teams that have like there's leagues that they do like the individual defenders, which is too much for me.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
That is.
I think I would want to be in a league where you also had to draft a punter.
I would like that. See, that would be fun because the punter is. But then you would have like that one game of the game, the Bears game, where it was just punters the whole time.
Or a game where like this past Sunday Monday, I think the Bears only had like 1 punt, maybe 2.
So for the punter, you would have to take like the Lions punter because he'd be getting a lot of work.
Yeah, but it's similar to a kicker. You might end up with a kicker and they score all touchdowns, and now your kicker got 4 points.
I know. I try to get a kicker from a team that's good, but not quite good enough. Yeah. And to try to like who's kicking a lot of the field goals. Or if you could get, what's his name from Baltimore? I mean, just take him anytime. But people always take him early. I've never had him as
somebody gave up Buffalo's kicker, and I sure picked him right up.
Yeah, sometimes you'd be seeing shit on the waiver wire. Like, really?
Oh, yeah, because they are definitely.
Don't mind if I do. It probably was Buffalo. No, Buffalo wasn't on a waiver yet or on a bye yet.
I don't think. Wait. No. I don't think they played this past week.
Oh, so you see, when you have, and that's the thing, when you have a really good kicker, you have to like drop somebody else to get back up. But like a kicker like that, I ain't dropping that kicker. That person's
I got him now. I got him. I mean, I had Graham Gano, which was also, a good kicker just based off of how New York has been playing so far. But I'm like, Buffalo's gonna score points. They're going to move the ball. So I'm like, yeah, let me go ahead and get that about you.
Yeah,
and
one of my
then
leagues. Yeah, I had Prater, but then he got injured, so he's been out for a few weeks. So I kind of kept him the night, tossed him. I just have Folk from New England, which he had a huge game against the Lions.
so
I won because of him.
I started out with Cairo Santos, and I'm like, oh, the Bears are kind of sucking. So let me go ahead and get somebody else.
Yeah.
And now he's like the second best kicker in the league this season.
It's wild.
Yeah.
You're right. That's another thing of the fucking Twilight Zone that's happening right now in the NFL.
Yeah.
I give up.
Everything is weird. It's like this is the parody that everybody loves and everybody cheers for, where everything is unpredictable. But that doesn't work well for people who gamble and play fantasy. Like, we kind of need some trends to start emerging. It's week 9.
Vegas lost so much money in the Bears last week because y'all were an 8.5 point underdog. 8.5.
And I know a lot of whoever took the over in terms of points, they definitely got paid.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, that game. And I remember looking at that and I was like, I don't think the Bears are going to win, but I was like, 8.5 seems really aggressive. I'm like, and sure enough.
But see, like, even after we showed out and, won against the best coach in NFL history, we still ain't getting no love.
No, our buddy that does the little rankings on Barstool, he put y'all in the Super Bowl contenders after that win.
See, he played too much. I'm glad, but you know what? The thing I like that his rankings literally change week to week to week. Like it's literally
so funny. And also the Lions are now booty cheeks. We're no longer fun just because we're the Lions. No, we're now in booty cheeks.
Well, no, Jared Goff is a lot of fun to watch at home. I have never seen such a big statistical split from somebody. I think they said like his touchdown to interception ratio at home is 10-2. And on the road is 1-4.
Wild. And the thing was too, against Dallas, like if we had scored on that goal line instead of fumbling, like
that was the most entertaining bad football game I have ever watched in my entire life. I watched damn near the whole
Bears fan. Wow, that shit stunk. Okay, that shit hurt me right here in my heart.
When the Bears play bad football games, they also play bad football. But there was some entertaining stuff going on in that horrible football game. I enjoyed it. Until you get to 5 turnovers in the second half, and then it's like really
shit show. First of all, I was laughing when it was like, oh, Dallas wins the toss and gets the ball, and here comes out Dak, and then it was like, sack. Yeah.
The first half, it was like, oh, this might be a competitive game, and then the second half, it was like, oh, and there go the Lions.
But it was like the Cowboys were also trying to lose the game. The third quarter, both teams were trying to lose the game. The fourth quarter is when the Lions really fucked up and the Cowboys finally woke up.
I'm like, Dak, how do you look more rusty after halftime than you did before halftime? Right? That was really weird. Like, really weird.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm debating if I want to go to the Lions at the Bears game next month. We'll see. We'll see how the weather is, first of all, and we'll see what these ticket prices are.
First of all, it is going to be too cold to watch both of those horrible. Like, I love my Bears, but we are not, a good football team right now. We're a decent rebuilding team. It's too cold to be sitting out there watching that type of football.
So next weekend, when I have my race in Northern Indiana, the highs are the high 50s. And that's only 1 week after. So if we're looking at like high 50s.
I boycott when it's under 60 degrees.
That's true. I don't like the cold, but I am white. So I do handle it. I'm used to it a little bit more. But I would go to a game in the 50s.
Not me. Because there's not, like, if I'm, like, it's easy to play
at a noon game. Let me rephrase. I will go to a noon game when it's in the 50s.
Right.
I don't know if I want to go to a later game.
Wait. Only if it's sunny. If it's cloudy and 50, that's not comfortable.
No, that's not nice. But if it is predicted to be in the 50s and sunny and a noon game, I would not mind going to see that game. It would probably be bad football.
That could definitely be a pleasant game.
Yeah. But if it's a later game or if it's cloudy or if it's in the 40s, no. If both teams were good, sure. But we don't.
Yeah.
We don't need to see that shit.
No. That's a TV-worthy game.
Yes. And and it will be playing on this television right in front of me. So I'll be fine with it.
Yep. And I have my snacks and my beverages and my warm blanket. And, I'll have on Bears gear. I got a ton of orange and blue. Yeah. But, nope. Yeah.
I hear you. Well, my love, thank you for coming on.
I miss you. I miss you too. And I miss being on and being able to just not even sometimes you don't really need to be in the physical presence of dope ass people, but just being, having access, having conversation, being able to be in the energy of dope ass people. I definitely miss that part of it.
Yeah, so I'm glad and it's you always learn a little bit more about people. I did not know Marissa was such a late bloomer in the sport. Can you imagine how good she would have been if she had done club track?
I was just about to say I didn't realize she came from a farm summer track.
Right, if she came from a program like one of yours or mine where they actually build us and a farm team, her would have been. But I mean, she had a great career.
And I mean, she was a late bloomer in the multis too. Just imagine if she could have gotten it together like that when they first started talking about it her sophomore year.
Right. Or I mean, if she ran summer track, a good coach would have introduced her to the multis then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Because they would have seen
the high jump and the 400. You can might as well give this hurdle a try. Yeah. It's
because she's really, really long. So
so she just needs the technique.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, running hurdles with long legs is very difficult. That was another reason why I retired from the hurdles, because it was I always tell people I wasn't a hurdler who could sprint. I was a sprinter who could
hurdle. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it was no, let me just go head back to sprinting because my body is made for that. Hurdling is a forced motion. I have to consciously think about shortening and chopping my steps to run the hurdles.
Yeah. I would have liked to see Marissa in the 400 hurdles too.
Yeah. But I mean, when she was at Illinois, there was no chance she was going to be running the 400. None.
No, not with Ashley Spencer at all. No, that that's a hot track.
Those Tanja teams were really, really competitive. Really competitive.
But if she had started doing the long hurdles in high school, might have been a different story. But I do think the multi is, because of her high jumping ability, the multi was definitely her.
But she couldn't have run the long hurdles in high school because she ran a 4. And in Illinois, the 400 and the 300 hurdles are right there together. Yeah,
that's a tough double.
Yeah. It's an impossible double. No, literally impossible.
Oh, literally. Okay.
In the state of Illinois, you cannot run the 4 and the 300 hurdles unless your coach hates you.
Got it. Good to know. Well, at least you don't have to have that type of suffering.
That's true. Well, that is very true.
Exactly. Well, my love, it's been real. And on that note,
this has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
Bye.
Bye.